Mad. Best friends and enemies. What's the difference between best friends and enemies? What's the difference between friends and ops? What's the difference between your bestie and that person? What's the difference? Because we all have friends and enemies. Inevitable, isn't it, really? We're all going to have them at some point in our life, you know. Whether you know them or not, you're going to have them. More ops in that sense. Best friends, you know who your best friends are. Some people don't know. Some people just want friends, want someone to call a bestie so they fit into society of that best friend vibe. I don't know. But that's what the topic's about today anyway. We're talking about the difference between best friends and friends. As Ives says, friends and foes. What is the difference? This all feels different. All my life, you know, I've had shit friends, man. All my life I've had shit friends. But I've realised that you really can count your friends on one hand. You really can, you know. That saying is not a lie. That saying is real. You don't really know about it when you're younger, but you know about it when you're older. Those who are on that level, I know you understand what I'm saying. You're probably going through it now already, ain't you? Deep in it. Been there. Trust me. However, best friends. Best friends, you want loyalty within it. You want that support. You want to be able to trust, confide, you know. Nothing that you say to them gets repeated. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's a best friend. Someone who could tell you about yourself and you don't take offense to it. Do you know what I'm saying? Someone who can tell you directly how they're feeling because they know you're going to love them regardless. That's a best friend. Enemy. Up. A bad person. Now I'm joking, because that all up's a bad person, bad people. But distrust, innit? Dishonesty, betrayal, opposition. You know? Fake.
With friends like that, who needs enemies?
I feel like with my friendship circle, I know my friends, you know, I don't see them all the time, but I know every time I do see them, it's back to where it was the last time. We never miss nothing, we never miss a beat, never skip a beat. We don't live in each other's pockets. Do you know what I'm saying? We can be on the phone for a whole hour one day, but then text every day for the next 2 weeks. Do you know what I'm saying? Only because we know each other, we get it. Do you know what I'm saying?
We were like best friends.
That's a best friend. You know, my best friend. In fact, to be fair, yeah, I don't really use the word best friend a lot. I just use the word my good friend, my good friend. And you know who that is. That's Bam, that's Shan, 147. Big up my girl. You know, like, she's my Cody, do you know what I'm saying? Even me doing this now, she's aware of it and she's supporting me on it. I bet you guys are thinking, yo, what's going on with Bam? How come Bam's not in? What's going on? Are they friends anymore? Ha! We are. Tighter than good. You know what I'm saying?
A tight pom pom is a man's best friend.
You know what, we really are like that though. And she's supporting me all the way anyway. But, you know, she does, man. She provides me with comfort, you know. Like if I'm telling her the dumbest things, like I've got 2 pot noodles, she'd be like, yo, pray over it to the Most High and you receive what you need to, and whatever you don't need will leave your body. Do you know what I'm saying? Just little things like that I love. Sometimes I can say things, yeah, and she'll finish off my sentence or vice versa. Mad. But, you know, comfort, man. Your friends are meant to provide comfort. They're meant to provide, you know, an ear. Sometimes they're not just meant to do anything, just be there, and that's enough. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas I feel like with enemies, you know, there's a big difference when it comes to that, because your enemies don't even have to be your friends either. Clock that. It can be your parents, you know. It could be your family members. Yo, hold on. It could be your family members. It can be your neighbours. It can be your colleagues. It can be your friends. It could be people you don't know. That's when it gets deep. But you know that saying, if you haven't got haters, you're not doing something right. That's true, innit?
Over here, I must be doing something right.
You know it. But can best friends become enemies? That's my question. And I guess, you know, with me saying that I've been through so much with my friendship circles, they've always changed over time. You know, I've had people around, then they're not around. Then I've had people around, then they're not around. But like I said prior, going back, I don't know on what podcast I was on, but, you know, everyone comes into your life for a season and a reason, innit? Sometimes they come into your life for their benefit, not for your benefit, because they need to learn something from you. Do you know what I'm saying? And then they leave.
Farewell, my friend.
And that's okay. But sometimes when they leave, they can leave and harbor energy. And the next minute, they're trying to create a whole community of haters just because they don't like you.
The enemy of your enemy is your friend.
What?
You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes that hater, that enemy can be your ex-best friend, like I just said. You can split ways in it. And during that time of splitting ways, before that time you split ways, you've already confided, you've already told your most deep, dark secrets, you've already let them know how you operate on a daily basis. So they know a lot about you, innit? But that's obviously if you've called them best friends. I hope I'm not confusing you guys. I'm trying to help you guys understand where I'm coming from when it comes to best friends. What did my nan used to say? Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. She used to say that to me repetitively all the time.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Like, she never took a break of saying that to me. And clearly there's something that the reasons why she said it is because she went through something in her younger age time. You know what I'm saying? So she's letting me know while I'm at school that you've got a lot of learning to do. There's a lot more experience of life. Do you know what I'm saying? So can your friends become enemies? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. You want to know why? Because you tell them your secrets when you know deep down in your gut you're not meant to. They know most things about you because you have them around you 24/7. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how to be alone. You don't understand the essence of being alone. And that's fine. Many people don't want to be alone. That's not a bad thing, you know. You know? But at the same time, if you don't know how to be alone, that means you're constantly looking for comfort in people when you can't comfort yourself. And I think that's what makes you stand out from the most. If you can comfort yourself without having to be on the phone to someone to tell them and get advice from yourself. I literally said the other day on Sinner's podcast, I was like, yo, there's like, what's your biggest sin? I said, my biggest sin is like, when I do something for me, I feel guilty for it immediately because I'm so used to doing things for others. Do you know what I'm saying? And I guess, you know, when it comes to best friends and things like that, the word discernment comes into it because you got to choose them wisely because they can easily become your enemies. And I'm not saying that for joke. I'm saying it because I've dead ass been through it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been through it. I've been through I've been through it so much, yeah, that I've slept next to an enemy. Didn't even realize for years has been an enemy and I haven't clocked. You know, I've had a friend. I've had multiple friends, like I've said. And they've been enemies from the jump and I haven't clocked. All because...
Even though you have been a bad friend, I want you to be happy.
I'm not giving time for myself. Do you know what I'm saying? Soon as I exclude myself from the outside world for a second and just step back and just give myself some time to be best friends with myself. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, who is my best friend really? My mom. Deadass. But who is our best friend really though? It's me. It's you. You're your best friend. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't really need anybody else to tell you. Obviously, it's nice to have validation. It's nice for people around you. But really and truly, it's you. It's you you're impressing. It's you want to, you know, change. It's you want to become better at. It's only going to be you, innit? So I guess when you have friends and you lose friends and they become enemies and it gets messy, you're like, yo, I wish I never said this. I wish I never said that. And more fool you if you lose a best friend, they become an enemy. And then you call someone else a best friend. That's dumb, innit? Like, I can't do nothing with that one.
That's weird.
So can best friends become enemies? Yes, they can. Why? Because sometimes there's jealousy, sometimes there's competition, sometimes there's, you know, there's a little bit of too much watchy going on. And, you know, we live in a world where everyone likes to double tap and watch people anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's going to be very hard to have a best friend in this generation. In this generation, yes.
I know it's hard.
So yeah, my example is of a friend becoming an enemy, like I said. jealousy, competition, backstabbing, unaddressed conflicts. That's a big one. Communication. People don't address it. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like if your friends are something to annoy you and you can't tell your friend that it's annoyed you, that's a problem. That's a red flag, you know, because there's something missing between the connection between you two while you can't tell your best friend. That's your best friend. You should be able to tell your best friend, innit? Do you get what I'm saying? But if you can't, then you got to reevaluate who your best friends are. Do you get what I'm saying? And again, I'm not saying this to tell you what to do, you know, I'm saying it because out of experience. Boy, I remember being in school, my Sony Ericsson, remember the Sony Ericsson flip phone that went round like that, the orange and white, that got stolen. My trainers, my Nike trainers, stolen. My pencil case, stolen. My remember the scooters back in the day, and you could have like, it was a three-wheeler scooter and you could move around like this, stolen. Yo, I've had so much things from me taken, jewelry, money, to a point where I have limited trust in everything, but I'm learning that because I can't go through life like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just dead to me. But with most people, they have a breaking point when it comes to friendships, and sometimes it's like, for some people, it's betrayal. The breaking point is, and for some people, there isn't a breaking point. They will just walk. They will continue in life, being what's the word? Is it stepping stone? Yeah. They'll go through life being a stepping stone because they don't want conflict. They don't want it. And sometimes, see, when you're like that and you don't want conflict, you're not doing any justice for yourself, you know. Because they know you don't want conflict. They already read you already. So they know you're not going to say nothing already. But we see the day that you do say something, they're going to be looking at you like, yo, okay. So you clocked. What else have you clocked then that I've been doing? And then you're making them think. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's only if you're getting inklings of a negative friendship or a negative energy around you. You know, you're going out together, you're all dressed up, you both look nice, but your friend's looking at you, he's looking at you saying, oh, you're better than me. And they're looking at how you dress, and you can tell straight away you feel a vibe.
Don't do it.
But somehow, thanks to the Most High, my ancestors, my soul tribe, they guided me. Do you know what I'm saying? I was told I'm never going to drive, but yeah, I'm driving. That's a friend telling me that. So much shit. Again, it's not personal. It's guidance. I feel like it's just human nature, innit? Some people are just generally like that, you know. Depends on your parents, I guess, and how you've been brought up in it. You know, you might been around a mum who's just got a massive jealous bone in her body, and then you've picked up that energy and you've carried it on. And if you don't learn it, you're going to continue with it and pass it on to your child, and your child's going to continue with it and pass it on to their child, and it's just the same thing, innit? But, you know, I guess sometimes it can happen, like with sisters as well. There can be some envy. Happens, jealousy, it happens, you know. I got a sister, we ain't got the best relationship, do you know what I'm saying? There's something wrong with our relationship, but I still got love for her. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hate her. We've shared the same blood, so.
We all make mistakes. And when we do, forgiveness is what keeps family.
What I'm saying, I feel like there is a difference between friend and foes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think the difference is, between friend and foes?
Well, the big difference is, look, an enemy can sometimes tell you what you want to hear, but it might not necessarily be the right thing. And a friend will tell you something that you don't want to hear, but is the right thing.
Yeah, what you should hear, innit?
Yeah.
To steer you in the right direction.
Yeah. A friend should want to see you succeed and want the best for you.
Yeah.
But an enemy would want to see you fail.
Yeah.
So they're the big differences.
Yeah. But there's sometimes you don't even know that. Like, okay, for instance, you got the friend. You think the friend is a friend, but it's an enemy behind closed doors. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that friend is telling you advice that you think is the right advice.
Well, your enemy will try and trick you.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we want to be tricked. You know, it's as weird as it be. Sometimes we want to live in our own delusion sometimes, and an enemy can help us indulge in that thing. But a friend a friend will say, "Yo, fix up."
Yeah.
Yo, this ain't you. Like, change it. Like, move correct.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But it's the right thing to hear.
Yeah. But then, like you said, the delusion part is like, is that self-inflicted on us then? I guess it is, in a way.
I think, you know what it is, as humans, we all yearn to be connected. So I feel we all, like, look, Jesus had 12 men. One of them was a snake.
Which he knew of.
You know, so it's like, you're gonna, and you said it earlier, look, you can only get haters. Because look, this is when we were all kids, when everything was all cool, there was no stress, there was no real hating vibe going on.
Yeah.
But when you start to do something good, and you may give the perception that you're moving forward, and the person might be feeling that they're stagnated, then they're gonna hate.
Yeah.
Like,
They're watching too many.
They're watching.
But like I said,
they're watching.
No, but we're the generation of double tap and watch, double tap and just watch. That's our generation now, almost in a way. So everyone's watching everybody. In a way.
Well, look, God tells you, thou shalt not covet, and we live in an age of coveting. All we do is go on Instagram and look at other people's lives and go, covet it. You go, oh, I want that, or how you doing that, all these things.
Yeah, I guess so. But I guess, you know what, like you said, friends and enemies, there's a very thin line, I guess, in between both, and it can cross over, but sometimes your friend can just mess up, because your best friend can mess up on accident, and if they're going through something, sometimes they ain't going to be able to be that best friend for you at that moment in time, but that don't mean they're your enemy. So I don't want it to be a thing where, as soon as they've done this, they're an enemy. Nah, because everyone goes through things in life, and sometimes it's uncontrollable. Do you know what I'm saying? They have to go through it, and sometimes you need to be their friend in that situation. So it's not a victimization kind of thing, but it's a thing where it's like, if you got a best friend, you're both best friends to each other. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? And that's
you have to have balance.
Yeah, balance. Yeah.
When a friendship's unbalanced, when you feel it's unbalanced, if somebody's doing more than the other, then it's got to create tension.
Yeah, of course, because it's leading, and not the scales where it's like, yo, it's gonna go off, innit? So, you know, I guess in that sense, like I said, just choose your friends and choose your peers, whoever you roll around with and do certain things with. Like that saying when people say, yo, you have certain friends for certain things, innit? Sometimes you can't do certain things with that friend because you know what that friend's like, and that's okay. Sometimes you can do things with that friend and not that friend, and that's okay. And I think that's boundaries. And when you set boundaries, I guess you're less likely to have enemies.
Yeah, well, it's also understand. I have a saying: if you know the rules, you can play the game. If you truly know your friend, you know your friend doesn't like clubbing, then it's pointless asking your friend to go clubbing with them.
Yeah.
So you know that's not them.
Just go to the pub, man.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And it's cheaper to drink at the pub. You can get a double for like £3. Mad thing. I'm always in the pub. But anyway, yeah, man. Big up yourself anyway, because at the end of the day, we've all been in a position where we've either been backstabbed or we've backstabbed. Let's be real. It really is that. But on that note, like I said, catch you later. Bye.